Hey guys, my name is MBTT. Welcome to my channel, and today I will talk about the evolution of Warsaw trams in Poland. And before we start the video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you did all of these and if you want me to make another video like this. Hope you enjoy! First off, let's talk about the Constal 105NA. This is basically like the oldest modern tram that Warsaw has. This is basically, it's like the most commonly used model in Warsaw. And these trams, or because they're two types, well, one type, but two designs, two models, they were made in 1973 and the other model was made in 2001. So this was basically an evolution of the earlier Constal 13N. This was the city's first modern tram, and it was kind of like a copy of the PCC streetcar, derived by Czechoslovak Tatra T1, widely used throughout the Soviet bloc. First cars were based on the electrical trams from the 13N, placed in a lighter body. Later ones had them replaced with more efficient ones, so yeah. And these trams basically are used in sets of two, so like two cars, two wagons if you want to call them like that. But also sometimes the one wagon comes, especially for shorter routes. But for longer routes, it's mostly the two cars or two wagons, and sometimes one wagon for the more or the longer routes. Also, there were sets of three that have been used a long time ago, basically. But of course, they were replaced with something else, which I'll talk about like soon. So yeah, and this is probably the most used tram in Poland. And so if you travel to Warsaw, Poland, then you will probably like 100% sure see this tram in your face if you're beside the rail tracks of a tram. And also, this tram, these two models of the same tram, they don't have AC and they're high floored. So this one has no low floors, so I do not recommend it for old people unless they want to break their backs, which I don't recommend at all. Next up we have the HCP 123N. So basically this was the same thing as the Constal 105NA, except it's a different company, I believe. And this was made in 2007, so it's a bit newer than the Constal 105NA. There isn't much to say about this except that it's kind of the copy of Constal 105NA. But of course it has no AC, so you might sweat in the summer. And it again doesn't have low floors, it only has high floors. So again, I don't recommend it to old people or handicapped people alone. Next up, we have a very interesting tram. We have the Constal 1112N, or if you want to call it the Constal 116N/116NA. Now this is a very interesting tram because this is half low floor and half high floor. So it's basically good for almost anyone. So a single prototype Constal 112N was partly low floor, as I said, and of course two-section articulated tram based on the 105NA, and this tram was built in 1995. Other vehicles would feature three sections and larger percentage of low floor area, approximately 60%. Designated 116NA was produced between 1998 and 2000. And And as I said again, just to be clear, that this tram again has no AC, but it has an advantage of the two first ones which I was talking about. This one is only partly low-floored, so it's partly low-floored and it's partly high-floored. So for the people who like doing fitness, you have high floors, but for the people who are handicapped, you have low floors. Now I'm excited to talk about this one. This here we have is the Pezza 120N. Pezza 120N was the first, guys, this was the first tram in Warsaw with fully, yes, I'm saying fully low floors, 100%. And this tram was bought by Warsaw in 2027, which means 2007. And this was basically to operate like modernized routes in the city center. And this one, it has AC. And also, it could also like speak, like it had the commentators which say next stop, or in Polish, it's następny przystanek. So yes, this tram had AC and was fully low-floored, so this was almost a problem for nobody. Now I'm so happy to talk about this one. This one, I rode on it so much. I rode on it so many times. So I'm pretty sure I know quite a lot about this tram. I love it because it's basically like the Pezza 120N, but this is the Pezza 120NA, so there are only slight small differences with it. Like for example, it has better AC quality, I think, and it also has clearer commentator voice than the Pezza 120N, and it's a bit different of a design. The Pezza 120N, I call it the angry tram because for some reason it just has an angry face. But the Pezza Swing 120NA looks like a happy tram. And I really love that. And anyways, this was made in 2009. The first trams were 186 vehicles, and these were purchased to operate a planned new line and to replace some of the oldest trams as the old trams which I was speaking right now of. At the request of this city, 6 units were manufactured as bidirectional, and this was designated 120NA Duo to allow using them on partially built line with no balloon loop. And this again is no low floors. So again, a very big advantage for old people, because not only is this low floored, but this also has the handicapped button, which means if you press the handicapped button, it will release like a slope, so whoever is handicapped or has issues or something, like whoever is on a wheelchair, can go up the slope, especially for people in a wheelchair. And this is very helpful and very friendly tram. So you will also probably see this a lot. This is the second most popular tram like ever in Warsaw. So you will probably 100% see this whenever you arrive in Warsaw and you're beside the tram rails. Now we are getting to more newer trams. Next up, we have the Pezza Jazz Duo 128N. In 2013, 50 bidirectional trams of a new design were purchased from Pezza to be delivered in 2014. Now, this was planned to allow operating on possible new lines during their construction and sections of existing tracks during maintenance works that made balloon loop inaccessible. Now, this one is a bit of an upgrade from the 120NA and the 120N, especially that this was created in 2013, but it was delivered in 2014. But still, I consider it as 2013. Now, if you go to Warsaw, you might like 90% see this tram, especially number 9 and number 7, and probably other lines if you're going somewhere else. But if you're of course going through the main airport in Warsaw, Chopin Airport, then you will probably see this tram whenever you come out of the airport. We have another interesting tram here. This is the Pezza 134N. This was ordered in January 2014 from Pezza in Bydgoszcz. So this, guys, remember, this was originally in Bydgoszcz. So they are used on less loaded lines. They were bought to replace old single cars from Constal. If you guys don't know, and you probably see from the picture, that this is probably one of the shortest trams you've ever seen in your life. I know, it's crazy, right? But as I told you right now, these were just replaced for the one single cars of Constal. This is more modern, and this was delivered in 2015, but originally made in 2014. And it almost has the same features of the Pezza Jazz Duo, Pezza Swing, and Pezza 120N. Except that, well, it's for, as I said, just the single cars. And this also has low floors with very good AC, as well as the Pezza Jazz. Last but not least, we have the Hyundai 140N. This is the only Hyundai tram which we got ever in Warsaw. Now this is bi-directional articulated 5-section vehicles ordered in June 2019. This tram was supposed to be delivered in 2023, but it arrived a bit earlier. Now not all the trams arrived at the same time. Only 2 trams were available in 2021 autumn. So you could ride with it. You could ride along with this tram. And it's the newest tram we've gotten so far. So every Hyundai tram will be delivered by 2023, but there are now 6 of 85 Hyundai trams which are operational now. So if you want to go on ride on it, make sure to do it now so you can be one of the first ones to ride it. This sadly comes only on one line or one route. So this is only number 17. So if you have free time, or if you luckily have something like in the direction of 17, then you might even have a slight small luckiness in you, and you might get to see this new tram. Now I'm not saying that you will for sure see this tram, but I'm saying that you may have some good luck. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below which trams are your favorite, or which modern trams are your favorites. Really guys, please tell me if you want more of this, because I don't do this only for work, but I enjoy making this stuff. I enjoy making such videos. So please, if you have any suggestions, I am free anytime. This is MBTT. Peace.